Today, we're going to talk about a truly unique art form with a history that is well, it's incredible. It's a story about art that was hidden away for centuries on the walls of village huts, only to be revealed to the world by a disaster. And from there, it became this powerful tool for survival and empowerment. So let's get into it. It all kicks off with two separate natural disasters, decades apart. And here's the crazy part. Instead of destroying a culture, these events actually ended up saving it. They're what transformed a private, domestic ritual into a global phenomenon.
So, how did the world even find out about this incredible art in the first place? Well, it all started when the ground began to shake. Okay, let's go back to 1934. A massive earthquake hits the Mithila region. A British colonial officer, William Archer, is out inspecting the damage, and as he looks at the crumbled interior walls of the huts, he sees something absolutely astonishing. He is the very first outsider to lay eyes on this art. His photos and articles start to get the word out, and by the 1950s, you have Indian scholars and artists visiting the region. But the real pivotal moment, the one that changes everything, comes in 1966 with a devastating drought. And you have to understand how amazing this is. Before Archer stumbled upon them, this was a completely private tradition. Women would decorate their own homes for religious ceremonies and festivals, painting these intricate designs on walls they prepared themselves. I mean, this was an art form that lived and died inside the home, never meant for anyone else to see. But all of that changed in 1966. A severe drought just crippled the region's agricultural economy. Families were facing actual starvation. It was a terrible crisis. But it also, somehow, created this unbelievable opportunity. This moment right here is an incredible turning point. Before 1966, the art was purely for ritual, painted on mud walls. After 1966, the entire purpose shifts to economic survival. The canvas goes from walls to paper, something that could actually be sold. This wasn't just a change in materials, it was a fundamental shift in the whole reason for the art's existence. Now, this shift wasn't just an accident. The All India Handicrafts Board saw the potential here and sent an artist, Bhaskar Kulkarni, to Mithila. He was the one who encouraged the women to take their traditional wall paintings and transfer them onto handmade paper. The goal was pretty simple: create a product they could sell to make money when the farms had failed. And you know what? It worked. Painting became the main source of income for so many families. So what is this art form really? To get why this evolution is so huge, we first have to dig into the rich culture that it came from. You'll often hear this art called madhubani painting. It's named after the largest district in the Mithila region, and the name itself means forest of honey. This place is just steeped in mythology. It's believed to be the birthplace of the goddess Sita from the Ramayana epic. So you've got this land that's already rich with spiritual and artistic history, the perfect fertile ground for a tradition like this to blossom. And the art wasn't just random decoration. It was woven into the very architecture of daily life. Certain images were made in very specific parts of the home. You would have your household deities in the place of worship, the grander paintings of gods and goddesses in the most important inner room, and then other beautiful motifs on the outer walls to welcome guests. And the process itself was just completely organic, you know? The women would start by plastering the walls with cow dung to create a smooth canvas. Then they'd use a bamboo twig frayed at the end to draw these incredibly detailed outlines. And for color, they'd just wrap strips of cloth around another twig to make a brush and dip it into natural pigments. It was an art form born entirely from what was right there in their environment. This massive cultural shift is probably best understood through the life of one woman who really came to personify the whole thing. Her name was Ganga Devi. After Ganga Devi got married, her life was one of extreme hardship. We're talking abject poverty. She often struggled just to get a single full meal. Totally desperate, she went to her guru for advice, and he gave her a new path. Start doing this new commercial painting. And her talent was just explosive. It's incredible. But within just 1 year of starting to paint for money, she received the National Master Craftsman Award. That's one of India's highest honors for artisans. Her rise was absolutely meteoric. She later talked about her life before the award with this incredibly powerful quote. She compared herself to Ahilya, a figure from Hindu mythology, who was cursed and turned to stone. For Ganga Devi, art was what broke the curse. It liberated her. It brought her back to life from that stone. This was never just about the money. It was about reclaiming her spirit. And her success had this huge ripple effect. The government sent her to represent India at exhibitions all over the world, even in Moscow. And seeing her, one of their own, traveling the globe and earning a good living from her art, well, it inspired countless other women in her community to pick up a brush too. Her personal journey really helped launch a movement. And that brings us to where this art form is today, which is a long, long way from the hidden walls of Mithila. I mean, today, madhubani's sweeping lines and vibrant colors are everywhere. You'll find it on clothes, on greeting cards, for sale in crafts bazaars. The art now decorates things like pen stands and all sorts of everyday objects, things the original painters, who saw their art as a sacred part of their homes, would probably never have even imagined.
So this whole journey, from a sacred wall to a commercial product, it saved a community and it empowered generations of women. But it also brings up a really fascinating question, right? When an ancient ritualistic art form becomes a commercial good, what do we gain in its survival and its reach? And what, if anything, of its original spirit might get lost along the way?